She's back.
I've been spending money like I'm balling, baby. You don't spend no money on me, but you own me, baby. And it's vintage on my body, yeah, it cost like 80 bills, cheap bills.
Hey girl, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. If you're returning, thank you so much for tuning in for another video. Today's video, y'all, obviously we're in the same setup as the last time. So today's video is going to be another girl talk. I really enjoyed making the last one, so I decided to make a new one today. I don't really know what direction in the future I want to like do I want to start doing vlogs again, stuff like that. I don't know, but I do know that I enjoy. This time I'm also not going to play with my hair as much. I'm going to try. Anyways, I know I want to make more of the girl talk videos, so I will be making more of those. So yeah. So for today's video, I decided the topic is gonna be vulnerability and just like being vulnerable within friendships and the challenges of that and just personal growth, things of that nature. You know, just because growing up, and when I say growing up, I mean just like the growth through like your adult years, there are some things that you probably didn't take seriously when you were younger, such as being vulnerable, that now it hits a lot different when you're older, or for me at least. So vulnerability in friendships to me looks like opening up about, you know, your fears, your experiences, just like your true feelings overall, you know, but about whatever you're going through or just truly anything you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying? Just but being 100% honest and very forthcoming about how you're feeling in that moment, or you know, whatever you're going through. So to start off, I guess I'll start with talking about just in general being open and honest. Being open and honest to me can go from, or just mainly be around like sharing your inner thoughts, you know, whether it's your hopes and your dreams or like things you're like manifesting or just like really wanting to come to fruition in your life, or just like things that make you anxious or like insecurities you have, you know, a situation you might be going through that's like really upsetting you. I think laying all of that out on the line to me is like part of being vulnerable, you know. And I know a lot of times, especially one thing I struggle with is when people are like, are you okay? I'm always like, I'm fine. Like, I'm fine. Granted, my attitude would be a whole different way, and it's obviously like, you're obviously not fine, you know, but sometimes I just don't want to crack open this book, okay? And now we have to dig in, and now I have to like dig into my emotions and my feelings. That's probably going to stem back to something that happened to me 10 years ago. It's okay. It's totally fine. We're just going to say I'm fine today and we're going to move on. But honestly, that is not the way to go at all. 100% no. At the end of the day, that always haven't gotten the best outcome as far as trying to move on with whatever you're feeling, whatever you're dealing with. And on my last video, I talked a lot about just like where I've been mentally and like what I've been dealing with a lot. I felt like, okay, this is a good transition conversation today, because a lot of that stuff I'm not really open about. Some of it, yes, but then some of it, when it gets like deeper into like how I'm feeling emotionally and stuff, some of that stuff, child, do not be bringing up. I like to keep it moving. And I think sharing your true feelings is a huge part of vulnerability. You know, being able to be like, this is where I am right now. I'm not 100% comfortable with how I feel in this moment, or like in this section of my life, or, you know, with what the situation that I'm dealing with or whatever. And being able to sit down to someone and open up about that, a lot of meaning to that. And also someone coming in and supporting you when you're feeling that way is also a lot of meaning to that as well. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you saying like, these are things that I want to accomplish in life, or just like sitting down and really letting someone getting to know you on a different level that isn't just surface level, or just isn't 100% good times and like going out and stuff. Sitting down and opening to someone emotionally definitely adds just more meaning to friendship in general. You know what I'm saying? As you get older, you look for those things. You look for, okay, I've known this person for a long time, or I just met this person, and there are things within friendship that I now value that, like I said, probably wasn't something that was a big deal, you know, when I was younger, that probably something that wasn't a big deal when I was younger that I now value and look for now that I'm older. Another important part is definitely discussing your fears, and I think that is where I don't do my best at, you know. And that can be anywhere from just like failure or the fear of the unknown or just anything in that aspect. I definitely know that that's something that I'm not the best at because I don't like being embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? And it's not that the person that I'm telling is making me feel embarrassed, because I had this conversation with two of my friends a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I don't really like opening up to people because I don't like feeling embarrassed. And one of them was like, well, do people, like, is that their response? Like, do they make you feel embarrassed? And I'm like, no, they don't make me feel embarrassed, but I feel embarrassed for myself, you know? And because I'm the type of person where I don't like putting myself out there if I'm not 100% comfortable with the way that I feel. Granted, I've changed a lot, obviously, because I'm a lot more comfortable even making videos like this, where a couple years ago this would not be happening. But even that, you know, I can see the growth in that. But back to what I was saying, I have a thing where I don't like being embarrassed, and I don't know why, but I would associate being vulnerable with being embarrassed. You know, something about someone getting to know you as far as the parts that you wouldn't normally share, I just feel a little bit embarrassed about and like a little bit ashamed. It's more so like, I can't believe like this is happening to me. You know what I'm saying? Especially if it's a situation that you didn't really put yourself in. So now it's like, this is happening to me, and the only way to, or like one of the ways to feel better is to share it to someone else. Granted, whenever I do share my issues with people, or whenever I do like sit down and like someone wants to be a listening ear, or they want to like have a conversation about like what I have going on and what I'm dealing with, I do feel better in the end. I do. And it's not even something that I notice. I don't usually notice it until it's over and I'm like, oh, okay, that wasn't as bad as, you know, I thought it was going to be. But child, leading up to it, I'm just always like, we can just talk about you. I said earlier, sharing those types of situations and sharing those emotions with your friends creates a whole nother bond that's like a different level than what you could really ever think of. You know, being able to be vulnerable and have that emotional intelligence and just have that connection with your friends is just a bond that's strong, and they're also able to be empathetic for you and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? And growing up, especially in the times of like, you know, me being in my 20s and stuff, a lot of stuff is happening day by day, okay? And like I said, you truly don't understand the importance of vulnerability until, or for me, until I release it and I'm like, oh, okay, I see why people do this. You know, like I see how this is getting down over here. The emotional impact of like trying to harbor all your feelings in and not being able to release them, I'm talking be having me off the walls, okay? I get super anxious, and I like to say that I've been able to manage my anxiety a lot better than what I used to, but I do have moments, you know what I'm saying? I have moments where I'm like, my head is just filled with so much stuff that I don't know what to do. And like I said in my last video, I just stop. Like I stop everything. I just fall off. And, you know, whenever I feel like everything gets back together, then we can get back on track. And that's why I value having an outlet. You know what I'm saying? That's why I value having those conversations with my close friends, because I'm able to now put it out on the table and have people who care about me help me work through my issues and help me work through my problems and come up with solutions. And I'm under so much mentally, I'm not able to think of a solution that's truly gonna help me in the long run. You know what I'm saying? So, because if I would keep stuff bottled up, that would lead to stress and anxiety, because then I would be like, I don't have an outlet for it. You know what I'm saying? And when you miss out on some things as far as not sharing, that does leave like missed opportunities for creating that bond and creating that trust with your friends and like truly being able to level up in friendship. Like you miss out on that, you know what I'm saying? Because now you have this mindset of truly being for yourself, and not in a selfish way to where it's like, oh, I only want, you know, me or whatever. More so like not allowing people to be there for you in your community. You know what I'm saying? And that brings in the importance of community and how, yeah, it's very important to know that there are people on your side. You get what I'm saying? And it's very important to have that reassurance to know that these people are always going to be rooting for you. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you're feeling not sure of yourself or not sure of whatever you have going on, there are always people in your corner who are like, we see you and we value you and we'll always be there for you. You know what I'm saying? That feels good, honey. One thing I feel like I've worked a lot on recently is just like normalizing fear and like normalizing being afraid and like, you know, doing it afraid. You know, like I was saying earlier, like I don't like bringing up stuff all the time because I feel embarrassed, but it's okay to feel embarrassed. You get what I'm saying? That's not the end of the world. I think what you have to understand is like those feelings are temporary. You know what I'm saying? You're not always going to feel embarrassed, because in the beginning when it came to me like sharing how I felt or like what I was going through and stuff, yeah, I did feel embarrassed. But after a couple of times where I'm like, okay, I see the benefits in me opening up and sharing, you kind of lose that feeling of embarrassment. And I'm not to say that it won't ever come back or like, you know, now all of a sudden it's all gone, but I think it's a lot easier to work through when you know that, okay, this feeling of happiness or like this feeling of joy or, you know, not being overwhelmed is on the opposite end. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the light at the end of the tunnel type deal. Like this is how I'm feeling now, and I am scared and I am nervous and I am embarrassed, but because I've done this before and I know that these feelings are temporary, I'm more willing to be vulnerable with people. Does that make sense? This is something that you also feel like you're struggling with. I suggest starting off small, okay? If you're having a bad day, hit up one of your friends and be like, hey, you know, I'm not having the best day. You get what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be like super, or just like, because it's the beginning, everything doesn't have to be super deep, or you don't have to like give someone or give all your friends everything right then. You know what I'm saying? You can start off small and like kind of grow that trust, and then you'll eventually get to the point where you're a lot more comfortable because you've been sharing those small things and you've opened up that space and that opportunity for your community to show up for you. Because you've done that, now you have no problem, you know, something happens that is like on a bigger scale, you don't mind sharing that, or you don't mind allowing someone to, you know, like leaning helping hand when it comes to you dealing with your emotions or wanting support from them. And that's truly the importance of surrounding yourself around people that you feel like elevate you, people that are trustworthy and that support you, because that also is going to make a big difference. If you feel like you're hanging around people that you can't always trust, or you feel like, you know, you always gotta like look behind your back and stuff, that right there, I'll just go ahead and drop that, honey. I wouldn't even worry about that too much, okay? Because you're never gonna want to sit down and have support, okay? But if you're in a position where you feel like, okay, I believe these people when they say that they care for me, you get what I'm saying? That's always a good place to start, because like I said, you definitely want to make sure you're around people that you value and that you know value you and that you know are trustworthy and that they also think you're trustworthy. You get what I'm saying? Because you don't want it to be a one-way street. You want your friends to come to you, and you want to be able to lean on your friends for support. You want to invest and feel secure in those friendships, you know, so make sure you get you some good people, girl. I just want to continue to stress the importance of vulnerability and how having someone see all of you, you know, as far as your weaknesses and your strengths, it just creates such a tighter bond. Like I'm telling you, when I kept saying, like when you were younger, in high school, when I was in high school and like middle school and stuff, it was all just like, you know, she's funny, I'm funny, we're cool, we're friends, you get what I'm saying? Like, granted, you have like close friends, but as you get older and stuff is like really taking a toll on you, you know, jobs and careers and just, you know, relationships and all that, it's okay to have people to lean on. You get what I'm saying? Because even then, it allows you to have some sort of self-awareness with that too, because now that I'm bringing this to the light, I'm able to know that, okay, I put this issue on the table, or I put how I felt about this on the table, or, you know, what I'm going through on the table. I now can be conscious in finding a solution for that. So that way it's not something that's always bottled up. You know, I've now made it known that this is a situation that I'm dealing with, and because I was able to put it out there and allow people to support me and give me their responses, I can now try my best to work through that rather than just always worrying about it being a constant problem, you know? And for me, it's still something that I'm working on. I'm not 100% perfect with being vulnerable, like at all, because again, I still deal with feeling embarrassed. Like when I told you I was talking to my friends about me feeling embarrassed, that was only like 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely something that I still struggle with. But it's something that I know that I want to overcome, especially with building deeper connections. And just as I'm growing older, it is an aspect of my life that I want to know that I was able to conquer, you know. And as I'm getting older, I am learning how important meaningful support is. Not only people supporting me, but me supporting other people, and truly wanting or creating spaces for people to feel comfortable. You know what I'm saying? I have, over time, that's something that I've definitely valued, you know, and not just comfortable when it's like we're going out, or like, you know, we can hang out and kick it and it's like you having a good time, but overall, I just am at the point where I believe one of my next steps in life is using vulnerability to create beautiful relationships and to like deepen my relationships. You know, I think that's just where I am, which is also another reason why I think I decided to just like get on camera and talk about this stuff, because I think that's just some of the things that have been missing out of my content, is just like my true authentic feelings, because it's real easy to just make makeup videos and hair videos and not feel like people get to know 100% of me. You get what I'm saying? Another thing, like I get to avoid telling y'all my true feelings about whatever I have going on because I'm just doing my makeup or I'm just doing my hair. But, you know, I feel like it was missing something, missing a little razzle dazzle. So I started doing these and I'm enjoying it, and I hope y'all are too. At the end of the day, you know, it's all about creating these spaces for everyone to be their true authentic selves and for everyone to grow and to flourish. And truly, that's all we should be doing, you know? So I hope y'all like this video. I don't know, it wasn't really as deep as the last one, but that's because the last one was just a lot more personal as far as like what I was dealing with on my day-to-day. This one was just like a little topic that I thought of or whatever. Granted, like I said, it is something that I'm still dealing with, but that last video, honey, that, woo. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, okay? Also, if y'all want to see more videos like this, or if y'all feeling it, if y'all liking it, you know, leave that in the comment. Let me know how y'all feeling. If y'all have any topics that y'all want me to talk about, leave those too. But other than that, I hope you guys have a great night, and I'll see you guys next time.